Hi again, everyone, and welcome to Blues Game Day Live alongside Joe Vitale, Darren Pang. It is Black Friday. Did you get your shopping in yet, Joe?
I have not done anything yet, though. What's going to be online later after the morning skate?
I don't think you are gonna do that.
No, my wife will.
Will she?
I'll get the credit card statement in a couple days.
Okay, well, good for you. Did you have a good Thanksgiving?
It was beautiful. I had a bunch of people over our house.
Wait, so not a bunch. You had like 500.
We had a lot of people.
That's good for you, buddy.
The Italians, they know how to do a couple things. You know how to eat and you know how to make babies, and we did both. And we have a big family, and you got to feed them.
Well, this is good inventory for us because everybody hopefully had a great Thanksgiving. Big dinner, family. It doesn't matter if it's big, small. What was your favorite dish last night?
Favorite dish? My mom made these sweet potatoes with like a pecan, sugary kind of top. That was probably my favorite. How about you?
Sounds good. Well, we had that deep fried turkey. Remember I was talking about that.
Wow.
Really good.
Did you deep fry it?
Lynn did, and my daughter Sammy and son-in-law Luke, and we had a great meal. Oh my goodness, the gravy, the potatoes, the veggies.
Didn't stop.
Oh my!
And you
God.
worked it all off after. I saw you doing a little stick handling.
Yeah, I was stick handling with a dog.
Yeah,
and posted that on my Twitter account at Panger40.
Aussie Doodle.
A mini Aussie Doodle.
It's a cutie.
Very cute.
She needs a little work on the hands, though.
Yeah, no question about that.
Yeah.
Do you think that this is going to be a cute game tonight?
I think it's going to be a feisty game tonight.
Me too.
I think that you go back a couple days ago in Nashville. I think that was probably as much bite as I've seen out of the St. Louis Blues all season long. Whether it was Craig Berube or the veterans in the room or the young guys making a statement, I thought there was edge. I thought Vince Dunn gets slew-footed, and Braden Shen jumps in there and tries to challenge a guy. I see Joel Edmondson flying down from the blue line after Sammy Blake gets attacked in front of the net. There was a togetherness. I think we're in for a heck of a matchup again tonight.
You know, a lot of times during the course of the National Hockey League, because the roles have changed, team toughness is more prevalent now. You've got to have 5 guys that are on the ice that are aware of what's going on. And I think if anybody tuned into that game, they saw that maybe they saw it at 3-1 or 2-1 at one point. But I think both on the radio side and on the TV side, we talked about the togetherness. We talked about there was awareness out there of what was going on. So let's go to that. To compete in the offensive zone. Let's start with the one line that was obviously terrific. Separated themselves from the pack, I thought, with Robbie Fabry, Braden Shen back to the center ice position, and, of course, Robert Thomas scoring his first NHL goal. How impressed were you with their chemistry, seeing that they haven't played a lot together?
Oh, I was extremely impressed. You know, I like Braden Shen in the middle. I think that injury a couple weeks ago kind of hindered him. He was having trouble taking face-offs, but now I think he's a little healthier. So now he's back in the middle. He's the horse for me. He's active in the offensive zone. He's extremely responsible defensively. He's the guy you want in the center. Robbie Fabry, he's going to bring that tenacity. He's got that great attitude. He's out there just having fun, and he's got that skill and awareness in the offensive zone, and that pairs up very well with Braden Shen and Robert Thomas. Robert the Thomas, as you call him, on the wing. First game on the wing. I was extremely impressed by him, and I'd like to get your thoughts on him as a winger. For me, Panger, it was, I think as a young 19-year-old, you're in the NHL, it's a lot of pressure being in the middle. You're the quarterback out there. You got so much responsibility in the defensive zone. It could be a lot for any player, let alone a 19-year-old. But I sense a little bit out there, last game at the wing, a little bit more composed, a little less pressure on him, and where he can just kind of get to the offensive zone and wind it up a little bit. And I'm not sure what you saw, but I liked his game on the wing.
Well, I think if he wasn't competitive, if he wasn't that kind of player, then obviously playing on the wing and stops and starts would be hard for him. But I think it's his ability to escape is terrific. I mean, and he's a strong body. He's not a frail 19-year-old. He's got a big hockey body, and he's able to handle any of the pressure down low. And I think his speed and his acceleration and his reads, he's separating himself from the pack hockey sense-wise, and that's what's impressive. I think the other players now are looking at Robert Thomas saying, hey, throw him on my side. Yeah. Throw him on my wing. He makes plays. He was putting pucks into areas of the ice that you don't see a lot of guys put them there, and that's what makes him a special player. So whether it's a Thomas the Tank Engine or Robert the Thomas, I think he was pretty solid in that hockey game. And the other parts, Braden Shen's a competitive player. Didn't start out the way he wanted this season to start out. The injury to Jaden Schwartz, his good buddy in that left winger, I think it's resulted, along with the coaching change, these players saying, okay, here's the mirror, here's us, we've got to be better. We don't like where we're standing right now. And now you got a game tonight where there was a lot of little battles in the last one. I like seeing Patty Maroon out there, and when judging by the morning lines, you keep that Robert Thomas with Shen line together with Fabry, Sanford together with O'Reilly and with Vladdy Tarasenko. Need Vladdy Tarasenko really humming that puck tonight and competing in this game. Patrick Maroon back in the lineup.
Yes, on
with
the left side.
Tyler Bozak and with David Perron. That leaves Soshnikov out. It leaves Sammy Blais in. And I like the combinations, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the local boy Patty Maroon back in action again.
Oh, I think so. And I think when you talk about the game that needs energy and life that Craig Berube keeps talking about, I look no further than number 7 to bring that energy, to bring that life. Patty Maroon's a player that when the Nashville Predators come to the rink tonight, or this morning rather, they're going to be on after this, they're going to see the lineup and they're going to see number 7 inserted in that left wing, third line center. And every single player I know, because I played against Patty, you're going to see the number 7. You're going to go, oh, God, here we go again. He's back in the lineup because he has that presence. He's got those intangibles. He goes out there. He'll yap at you. He'll cross-check you. He's a big body down low, extremely tough to play against. But also for me, Panger, I think he's going to be inserted and do some really good damage here on the power play. A power play that's been struggling lately.
It is hard to just forge net front presence. It's hard. You know, Jaden Schwartz is an incredibly talented player. Throwing him in front of the net, it's not the same because you take away some of his other assets. You can throw Alexander Steen, who's obviously not skating and will not play tonight, in front of a net, and it's still not the same as good as he is or as good as Braden Shen is. Patrick Maroon, from a goalie's perspective, being that big with the hands that he has, with the down-low presence in the hockey sense, it makes it difficult because it opens somebody else up. So the first time Patty gets it on the goal line and looks out to the front, whether he's got a right-handed shot in Bozak or a Robert Thomas, if there's nothing there, he jams it himself. Now that means the goalie's got to respect that. So yeah, I don't think there's no coincidence that the power play started to fail once Patty Maroon was out of the lineup. So I'm looking forward to that part of it, and the feistiness, and the hey, I want this to work in St. Louis. Like, he invested in himself, and this season hasn't gone really well for a lot of the players. This is a time to really turn things around for Patty, and I think he's going to show that leadership tonight.
I think he will, and I had a chance to catch up with Patty in Chicago right when he got injured, and you know, he was a little down and out, and he's had a great little bounce back. I had a conversation with him a couple days ago, and you know, he basically said, Joe, you know, I know I can go out there. I know I can play better hockey. I want to be that impactful player for this team. And sometimes it's getting injured. Sometimes it's being a healthy scratch. Sometimes it's that wake-up call where you can kind of visualize or see the game in a different way that you weren't seeing it because it's so hard to see it. And sometimes when you're in the battle. So I think this week and a half, 2-week break he's had has been very good for him, and I'm excited to see him come out here tonight.
I'd mentioned Vladdy Tarasenko. I mean, he's the most lethal goal scorer on the St. Louis Blues. Had been playing real well, really grinding down low and doing a lot of the little things. And then for whatever reason, that game in Nashville was not his best game. I noticed that the first guy on the ice in this, after the game, he and Craig Berube had a long talk before they got onto the bus and head to the airport. And then he was the first guy on the ice, and they were working on a couple of things in the offensive zone as well. You got to like that, and that communication and that kind of let's get into the fight here conversation. I'm sure that they both had following that game and this morning getting ready for this one.
You're absolutely right. And you know, this morning, like you mentioned, Berube's out there at the far end. They're working on some shots, some quickness coming off the power play, and having discussions between about every 3 to 4 shots. And Vladdy is a guy that the Blues have to get going.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's their best player. He's their best player, and you need to get him up and running, because when you do that, he can be a lightning rod for everyone else, because it's almost like a trickle-down effect. If your best player isn't playing his best, then the second tier and the third tier players, they feel like they got to get outside their comfort zone to start performing and putting in goals, and that's not a fun situation, because then everyone's thrown off and everyone's taken away from their game. Look at Pietrangelo and Gunnarsson. You know, when Gunnarsson's in the lineup, Pietrangelo, in my mind, he can play more of his game because he can trust that Gunnarsson's going to do his job. And right now, for Vladdy to go out there tonight, have a big game, come out with, I think his energy's been good. I think there's another level to his game which he needs to get to, and then when he does that, I think everyone else will follow in line. Yeah,
because the D's doing a better job of taking care of the D zone. The goaltenders I think they're playing extremely well. Don't forget, that's an empty net goal the other night. That was a hard battle against a really, really good hockey club in Nashville that had some bite. Anthony Boteto on the blue line had some bite.
Northeastern Husky.
Well, that's why. He's a Northeastern Husky. Only one player in the history of Northeastern University has been a captain for 3 years. That's on my right. That's Joe Vitale, the one and only. Attaboy, Joe. I love it. Great leadership, pal. I'm looking forward to the game tonight. I hope the fans are as well. I think, like you said, it's care, it's trust, it's feistiness, it's compete and battle. And I think that last game was a good one. This one's going to be even better, big boy.
I think it's going to be a great environment. A lot of people back in town from college. You know, everyone's excited about the Blues game tonight. A great division opponent. Let's go get it.
Love it, big guy. So the pregame show on the radio side, 6:30?
6:30.
As always, not early, 6:15?
No, well, we'll do a 6:15 show. It's kind of for it's a fun little show. But yeah, tune in if you're around.
That sounds great. So you and Chris Kerber got the call on the 50,000-watt blowtorch KMOX, and John Kelly now have the call at 7 o'clock on on Fox Sports Midwest. Bernie Federico and Scott Warren will have the pregame show at 6:30. Don't be afraid to join us because it's going to be a really fun night, okay, everybody? For my buddy Joe Vitale, I'm Darren Robert Pag. Have a good day, everybody.